When I got home, I was subjected to another interrogation. "What happened to you, Antonio?" I don't know. I mean, nothing strange. Ernesto's mum says they were speaking to you and you weren't answering, as if you were dazed or asleep. It happens sometimes." "What do you mean it happens?" I made an effort to describe the thing that occasionally happened to me, and which appeared in a more aggressive form that afternoon. The feeling that someone was playing a drum in my chest. My breathing so heavy as to convince me that if I got distracted, if I stopped thinking about breathing, I would choke to death. The most ordinary sounds transformed into a tangled din. And on top of that, there was another thing that happened to me with some frequency. The impression that I'd already lived through the moment I was currently experiencing. Before long I would be told that it was called déjà vu and was a relatively common phenomenon. But back then, I didn't know that, and there were times when I felt as if I were living in a world of ghosts. My mother called my father, and half an hour later he joined us. This made me think the problem was quite serious, and that perhaps I'd underestimated my symptoms. My parents had separated when I was 9, and since then Dad had come to Mom's apartment, which had previously also been his apartment, only a very few times, and never in the evening. Whenever I went to his place, he'd come to pick me up. I'd go downstairs, get in his car, and we'd leave. He asked me the same questions, and I think I gave him the same answers, after which they called Dr. Placidi, our family doctor. He was an elderly, friendly gentleman with a big white moustache, broken capillaries in his nose, and a sickly sweet smell on his breath that I was only able to identify many years later. I don't know if my parents were aware that our faithful doctor wasn't exactly a teetotaler. He came to our apartment and examined me, but mainly asked me lots of questions. Did I have convulsions? He explained what they were, and I said no, I'd never had them. Did I have colourful hallucinations or moments of total darkness? No, not those either. All I had were these periods of sensory overload, during which I remained conscious and was still able to orient myself, although with difficulty. That afternoon at Ernesto's, everything had been more intense. Still, basically, it didn't seem too different from when I became distracted at school, stopped listening to what the teachers were saying and started fantasizing. "Do you ever get distracted at school?" the doctor said. "Sometimes. As if you don't hear what the teachers are saying to you." I glanced at my mother and father. I wasn't sure I should share that kind of information with them, but then I decided it was important to cooperate with the doctor and nodded. He smiled in approval, as if I'd given the correct answer. The smell of his breath was a little stronger than usual. He made me do strange exercises. I had to balance on one leg, close my eyes, and touch the tip of my nose, first with my right index finger, then with my left index finger. Take hold of one of his thumbs and squeeze it hard. "Nothing to worry about," he said at last, addressing my father. "It's a normal neurovegetative disorder. It happens to children, especially the more sensitive ones. When he's in his teens, these phenomena will disappear." Then he turned to me and added, "Your brain is electrically overactive. It's a sign of intelligence." Neurovegetative disorder was a vague diagnosis. It could mean anything or nothing. Like going to your doctor to complain about a headache, and he examines you and tells you, "You have a headache." But Dr. Placidi had a reassuring manner, a reassuring way of speaking, apart from his breath, so my parents were duly reassured. Life resumed its regular course. What happened that afternoon was quickly forgotten. 2. The years passed, fairly normally. Despite the somewhat approximate diagnosis, the doctor's prediction was turning out to be accurate. Now it only happened once a month, and the sensations were increasingly tenuous and indefinite. The only worrying thing was the déjà vu, with its aura of a vaguely supernatural phenomenon. Basically, it was a thing of moments, and I was about to file it all away. Like when you empty the wardrobes and shelves of your childhood room and put away forever the exercise books with the big squares, the textbooks, the smock and bow of your elementary school uniform, the boxes of toy soldiers and animals and cars. I was in my first year of